I was selling a bake to school one day, and one person came up like, oh my god, like you were in my exam. That's like, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier when you do it with somebody. So like, I think starting something by yourself is like one of the hardest things to do.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of BAK'D I Wish I Knew, a podcast where I sit down with entrepreneurs, creators, and just overall cool people to talk to them and learn about where they first started and advice they would give to the younger generation.
Today we have Andy with us, and he is the co-founder of BAK'D Cookies. And yeah, Andy, nice to have you on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get right into it.
Okay.
Could you tell us a bit more about yourself and about the company that you run?
For sure. So I'm a pretty recent grad of UBC. I studied business, like accounting and operations logistics at UBC. Graduated in 2024, but I've been working on BAK'D with my sister since 2020. So ever since the pandemic, when I was still in high school, we were just baking at home and started selling just out of our townhouse. Originally, we were just selling to like friends and family, and then word of mouth kind of spread, and we were selling to like friends of friends, and then people started reaching out that were like kind of strangers, and then we decided to like make it like an actual business, and then start growing it from there, and then we started doing more like events like farmers markets and deliveries and pickups. And so we've just been expanding on that for the last 4 years, and we saved up enough for last year to open up our first store out here in New West. You should come check it out. New Westminster in the Brewery District, BAK'D Cookies Cafe.
Little plug for himself.
Yeah,
Okay, what like motivated you to like actually start selling these cookies? Because like I know a lot of people, at least me, during COVID, like I had so much free time, and I decided to use that time to play League of Legends. What made you like, where did that drive come from to like, oh okay, let me bake some cookie during my free time, or do something that was like, not just brain rotting?
Yeah, I think like, so in high school I was like super try-hardy, and I think a little bit of that like lived in me throughout COVID. I was like, I need to do something, because I was doing school like 24/7, like studying until like 1 a.m. pretty much, going to school, and that's like all I did. And it's so bad. I'd have like every day I'd have 1 to 3 Red Bulls and just to study, which is kind of fucked, or crazy. But yeah, so back then I was working like a job at a local bakery. I like food. I like making food. Originally I wanted to be a chef, but I have Asian parents, and they said no. So I was like, okay, bakery's close enough. Like, I'm not going to become a chef. I'm not going to get hired as a chef anywhere, but bakeries will hire people just to like make stuff. I really like baking. So then during COVID, they actually fired me because they're like, they need to save basically all the jobs for the people who need the income to survive. You know, I'm just like a rinky-dink like school.
The part-time like.
Like a part-time. I work like 2, maybe 3 days a week.
Okay.
You know, you don't need this money to survive. Save it for other people. I'm like, totally fair. Whatever. So I was just at home. I was like, well, all I know to do is bake, so I'm gonna just keep baking. Also, like, I like food. Big back, so I like eating too. So.
I was looking, so your sister was your first customer, basically.
Pretty much, because she was telling me, like, I was baking like random stuff like cakes, like blueberry bars, whatever. But then she was telling me that she went to New York and she had like the best like chocolate chip cookies ever. From the store called LeBain, and they do like a big kind of like it's very similar to us, which is what I based our cookies off of. And so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and make like the ultimate chocolate chip cookie recipe, and just like, because like what else is there to do? I'm so bored, right? I also I wasn't like gaming, so I couldn't get into a game. Like I didn't want to start a game either, because I know like everybody would be so good already. They were in gaming, right? So I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna bake, and then I was just like making batch after batch, like giving it to my sister. She's like very on Instagram, so she loves posting everything on her story. She was just posting like me baking. She's like, look at all these cookies I got. And then that's basically how we got started, because people reached out, they're like, oh shit, like, oh crap, those look really good. Where did you get those? Like, and she's like, oh, Andy's baking them. People are like, oh, is he selling them? Like, I totally buy some. I was like, oh, sick, if people want to buy, I'll sell, hell yeah. And I just started selling to people.
How do you feel like, it's been since like you went from that now to like running a store? I know you have like what, like 36 employees? How many?
We have like 32 now.
Okay. Like walk me through that. I know that must be a huge jump, but it's also been like what, 5 years?
Yeah, it's been 5 years now. Originally we started, I thought it was just kind of like a side hustle kind of thing. Like, I really thought it was like something we do on the weekends, like a way for me to save up money for university, for like textbook money or something.
Yeah.
And like I originally thought I was going to stop doing it once I started university. But we started just picking up like a lot of customers. Like one thing my sister and I was talking about was that by the end of the year, so like from April to like December, right?
Yeah.
If we made like $1,000, then I'm like, holy, like we made it.
Yeah.
Like we're big ballers
Yeah.
in the business world, right? So I told her like once we made $1,000 at the end of the year, we're gonna go like ball out at like Miku or something, or some bougie restaurant.
Yeah.
We ended up hitting that in 2 weeks. So we sat down.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks of selling cookies. So we sat down and we're like, oh.
Yo, what's up with your sister's network? Like, is she like an influencer or something? How's she like?
No, she just knows like hella people. So when she was at SF, because she's at SFU, we're graduating in the same year. But she spent a lot of her time at SFU doing like clubs. So she was in like Young Women Business and Actus. She ran and like the SFSS. So like our version's like AMS.
Okay.
So like I think she grew her network by doing like a lot of those kinds of things.
Okay.
So like a lot of people knew her. Also, she's like 150% like extrovert.
Yeah.
Like she can yap anyone's ear off, you know. Like so she just knows a lot of people, and then like she's always interested in food, so that's something she has in common with a lot of people too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they reach out and want to buy some cookies, which is super sick. But yeah, we hit that in like 2 weeks, so then we sat down and we're like, oh crap, like are we on to something? Like let's try, and if we can make this in 2 weeks, like imagine like what we could do by the end of the year. So, and there's like nothing else to do, because I think that was one of the biggest things, is that, you know, like if you were to do that now, there's a lot of like opportunity costs. Like instead of doing this, you could be like, I don't know, in a real job or something, right? You could be going for internships, co-ops, like focusing on something else. But in COVID, there's like literally nothing to do. Like even if you wanted to, you couldn't. So I guess that was the best part, is that there was like less risk for us.
Okay. So like, as like a university student, I know a lot of people like they struggle with this idea that, oh, okay, how do I spend my 20s? And then you keep comparing yourself with like so many other people, and then like you're saying, like opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Did you have that feeling like, oh, what if this doesn't work? Like I have my degree and I feel like a waste to like not use it?
Yeah, like I think that was like the best part about BAK'D, was that I had started it before I even started university.
Okay.
So then my mindset was that if BAK'D doesn't work out, I still get a degree at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I can go still work at like an accounting firm after this.
Okay.
If like BAK'D falls to crap,
Yeah.
you know. But I think it was like a little scarier for my sister, because she had finished her degree, and she was like, "Oh, okay, now time to start selling cookies on the side of the street."
Okay.
So yeah, so for her it was a lot scarier. I know this because like she kept telling us, like, you know, it's like these benchmarks don't happen, then like we have to kind of reconsider if this is something possible we could even do. But I think that's what kind of like pushed us more to like putting 100% into it. It's kind of like it's a do or die, you know. Like it's either this or we start like from the drawing board basically. But I think one thing we had in mind too was that, you know, in COVID, while everybody's kind of unemployed, I guess everybody kind of has the same like gap on their resume, for example, right? So we'd say like, hey, you know, everybody kind of has this gap, but this is what we did with our time. Even if we didn't like sell that many cookies, we still like used our skills. So for degrees like marketing and like it's in marketing and managing information systems. So
still
she's
a
like,
lot of value there.
Yeah, so she's like building an Instagram, building a brand, and so she can still show something for it, even if it doesn't turn into anything.
How did you like balance like academics with like running it? Because I know you're doing full-time university while doing BAK'D, and I know like a lot of people, they'll basically just be like, oh, I think I'm gonna drop out of school to go pursue my passion. Because like that's the smart thing. But like, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, sometimes it makes more sense to drop out of school.
Yeah.
Had I had it my way, I always thought about dropping out, but like it'd be such a waste too because I'm on a scholarship, so it'd be so shitty of me to just waste a scholarship, you know. And then two, like UBC was really good. I wouldn't really say for the education. Like I learned a couple things, but like is my degree really useful or like really necessary for me to start a business? No. Right. But I think UBC was really good for like the connections and like the opportunities. So like I started selling at the UBC bookstore. I don't think I could have gotten that if I wasn't a student. UBC has placed like a bunch of bulk orders. Like they placed, I think the biggest one with us was like 5,000 cookies.
For what?
National Giving Day or something. They handed out free cookies.
Okay, real.
That's fine. And it's cool because it's like supporting one of your own students. They invite me to like events to booth at. What else? Like I work with like a lot of clubs, so like I try and help clubs with like sponsorships wherever I can. I know that's always tough. And like do some like speaking engagements to help like inspire the youths.
Like at Yale, right?
Yeah, like at Yale.
Okay.
Like Yale, basically doing like Yale things, but in a university like setting.
Okay. So for like for those, let's talk about what Yale is actually. Yeah. So what exactly is Yale?
Yale is a crazy good program. You should check it out. It's called, it stands for Young Entrepreneur Leadership Launchpad. And basically it's like a 8-month program, I think, that teaches you kind of like, it's like workshops about entrepreneurship. It gives you like a little sneak peek into like every part of entrepreneurship. And at the end, like you kind of form teams and you build a venture out of it too. So it's like putting kind of what you learn into practice too. And I think Yale was really good for starting BAK'D too, because I basically did like the Yale program, but for BAK'D. For the first little bit. Like I built like a business model canvas and everything. Did I use it? Not really, but like it's good to like just like have those ideas out, you know? It's just so at least you're aware of it.
Do you feel like kids are like inherently like disciplined or like motivated, or do you think that's something that you can build? Because I know like if we talk about a little bit about your Yale experience, like you literally went to a different like school, right, to get that program, where most students probably wouldn't even like care about it. They'd be like, whatever. Let me go home and play some league.
I think like you kind of need that in entrepreneurship too. Like you kind of just need to, you kind of have to want it, you know? Like there's no one really telling you what to do. So if you don't want it, then you're not gonna go for it. And I think like Yale being outside of my school, like I used to have to transit an hour and a half to get to Yale. And I was like,
there and back or just there?
Just there. So I was like, okay, I guess I really want this. But I think it's a lot easier when you do it with somebody. So like I think starting something by yourself is like one of the hardest things to do. So I like my biggest advice for people like in entrepreneurship is always to like have a team or start with somebody, because I did Yale with one of my friends from school. So then when we're done school, we need to get to the Yale class. Like we transit together. It makes it so much better, right? When I was starting BAK'D, I had my sister. Like I don't think like really I was ever alone in any of this, and I think that's what kind of kept me going. Because if I was alone, BAK'D would have ended in like week 1.
Let's talk about sibling dynamic. Like, was it always like perfect sibling dynamic? Because like I know me and my sister, like I think if we ran a business together, like it'd be the same thing as trying to run a car into the wall. Like you just crash immediately.
Well, I think sometimes I can feel like that. But I think what's really good about my sister and I is that one, like we are very similar, so we like think kind of the same way, right? So I think like it's good that BAK'D is like a food business, because that's like something we have in common. It's like we just like food. We're both like big bags. We like to eat. It's about something we both like. We have kind of the same work ethic, where she's kind of like, I want something, like I'm gonna do everything to get it. And I think that's kind of the best part about working with her, is that like I think we're very like 0 or 100 people, and it's nice that the person I'm working with is also choosing this to be their 100, because it feels so shitty if I was like, this is my 100, somebody's like, I'm gonna put like 50% and also do something else. I'm like, you know. But I think it's also, it can be hard too because like you're so close with your sibling, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like small problems can turn into like really big ones really fast.
Yeah.
Like, and it's never about anything like important either. Like I think our first argument was about like flavors,
yeah,
like what's gonna be on our menu, and I think I threatened to walk out of the company.
You don't want my flavor?
Yeah, I'm gone.
Like, sure, yeah.
You're picking me or your dumbass flavor.
That's valid. That's a valid reason. Yeah.
But like, okay, but you also have to like try and learn from it. You know, make something of it. So with that, like we were like, okay, fine. Why don't we take it to Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll put a poll up on our story and let the customers choose which one they want.
Yeah.
And then obviously I won. But like it turned into what we have now is like a monthly flavor battle. So like every month I pitch a flavor, Jess pitches a flavor, and then we let our customers vote. So we would kind of turn it into something good, you know. I think like even now when we run a store, like things can get a lot more like heated. But I think it's a good thing that we kind of established beforehand. We're like, hey, if we have an argument, like let's not fight in front of our team. Like that's not good. Like, you know, when you see mom and dad fighting, like you don't want that. So we like go into the office. There we kind of yell, but like I think we're pretty good with like keeping it professional. We're like, you know, at the end of the day, like the business needs to keep going. Like let's figure out what's good for the business, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, let's talk about like your starting days. Like I remember you were telling me how it was pretty tiring. There's so many things you weren't anticipating. Like the amount of people. How did you like manage that stress? Because I know like if that was me or like a lot of people, they'd just be like overwhelmed. But I guess you also had a business to run, right?
I think it was like a lot of Red Bull. Like I already was drinking
a lot of Red Bull.
No, to be honest, I was drinking like 1 to 3 Red Bulls a day just doing high school. So to be honest, like this was like,
yo, you sure your heart's like healthy, bro?
In high school, I did like the Red Bull calculator. It's like how many Red Bulls until you die, you know? Like in a day, as long as I have under like 36, I'm okay.
Under 36 hands? That's a day. You know it stacks, right? It's not like, calculator resets.
I switched to Yerba Mates.
Okay. Keep gaslighting.
But I think we also like kind of recognize when there's a point, you know, where like if I keep doing this, like I'm gonna just like drive myself into the ground. I think it's when we first started doing farmers markets, I didn't expect how long baking would take. Because I started baking at night so that I could have everything ready to go by the morning. So it's like sick. I'm still gonna get like 6 hours of sleep or something. I ended up baking until like I did it all nighter. I ended up baking until I had to go for the farmers market. And I was like, oh fuck, now I have to go. Crap! I have to go sell at the farmers market.
And you're like, this is our special.
What is it today? And like driving there was so scary because I was like, like I had to stay away.
Teleports to the theory. I know what you mean for that. Right?
So then, like I had to figure out that wasn't sustainable. You know, I can do maybe one more of that, and then like I'm out. I don't really want to do that anymore. So I think that's when we kind of recognize like, hey, you know, we're like whatever we baked, we ended up selling out at the farmers market. So like the demand is there, cool. We have that part down. We cannot do the supply at home. So then that's kind of when we started looking into doing a commissary kitchen. So that's like a ghost kitchen concept. And then when we moved to there, then like, you know, everything became like a lot more breathable. Like I stopped making everything at home because like I was running out of fridge space. And my mom was like, give me back my pots. Because I like the only bowl like we had big enough to do all the cookie dough was my mom's like flower pot. She's like, I want to make soup. Give it back.
You can use it once the cookie's done.
So I was like, you can have it after. And then like we're in the kitchen like maybe like 4 days of the week. My mom's like, I need to make dinner for you guys. Get out.
We can have cookies for dinner.
So like we're feeling like a lot of those like kind of constraints. And that's when we're like, okay, I think it makes sense to move to the next step. And then so I think that's how we kind of felt whenever we had to make the next step, like because I feel like that's very scary for a lot of businesses. They're like, I don't know when it is to like move up, kind of like level up or whatever. So for us, we took it as like, okay, when we're feeling kind of the pressures of where we're at right now, that's a good sign that like we can expand and it makes sense.
Okay. What are your thoughts on like work-life balance? Because I know, like, okay, I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that it's like, oh, I want to start this business, but I want to have a good work-life balance.
Yeah.
I gotta spend time with my friends, my family, but also I want to make $1 million this year.
Yeah.
Like,
I think work-life balance is possible, but you just need to choose when for each, if that makes sense. Like when I first started, first 2 years of BAK'D was like all for BAK'D.
Yeah.
Like I low-key didn't see anybody for those first 2 years,
Yeah.
which it was also fine because it was COVID.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of helped because like even if I wanted to go hang out, I couldn't really.
Yeah.
Like maybe 6 feet apart, but like
Yeah.
let's do that. So that wasn't so bad for me, and then but after that, once we kind of got like our stuff together, we got we got staff once we could afford it, and then like we kind of took ourselves out of like making all the cookies every day and all that. Like it gave me a lot more time to go hang out with my friends, and so that's what I did for like the next 2 years after that. I kind of spent more time like going to school. I didn't really go to school.
Well, what's that? Okay, yeah.
Like going to school, like hanging out with friends, like I don't know, like going to concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
I can afford to do that now.
Yeah.
And then then when we're opening the store, it's like okay, back to BAK'D every day.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, so then I think it's kind of like picking and choosing when is the right time to focus on one. Because realistically, I don't think you can always have both all the time.
Yeah.
You just gotta kind of pick and choose when it makes sense to have one or the other.
Okay, what were like the things that you spend like a lot of your time on? I feel like a lot of people when they think of like, okay, starting a business, they're like, oh, I just need to create a product and then sell the product. Like, why? It doesn't sound like it's gonna take that much time. Yeah.
It takes so much time. Because like a lot of my time was spent like making the cookies and baking.
Okay.
But like that's maybe like 50% of it.
Yeah.
Like the other 50%, which I didn't expect to take so much time, was like doing all the business side of things. So it's like setting up a website and like keeping it up to date with like your schedule and stuff. Because we were at farmers markets, it's like selling at the farmers markets. It's like organizing. Once we like built up our team a little bit, it's like staffing, like scheduling. Dude, that takes so long. Like ordering ingredients, like it's kind of stuff that you wouldn't think too much about. Or like trying to figure out like okay, hey, ingredients are coming in. Crap, we're out of room at like storage. Like where do we find more storage? And like trying to problem solve that. Or like, hey, this like somebody wants like 1,000 cookies. Like I'm making like maybe 50 to 100 a day right now. How am I gonna do that? So it's like trying to figure out how to solve those problems. And then making sure
Suffering from success.
Yeah. But like also trying to make sure it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Because like I only want to deal with this once. I never want to deal with it again.
But then once you deal with it once, you know how to overcome it the next time.
It's like a really good experience. So
yeah.
I think like 50% of it was just kind of like experiencing new things. Because when I started, I was also like 17. So like I didn't know jack about anything. And like I don't think anybody expects you to know jack about anything. So it's just like learning a lot on the go. And as long as you kind of like take each thing as like a learning thing, then I think it's okay.
How have mentors helped you along the way? I know you talk about your mentor a lot.
Yeah, shout out Patty. I think like mentors are kind of everything. Like when I started BAK'D, I was like, how do you start this? Like I don't even know what step one is, right? So I'm like every day I'm like messaging like, Caddy, what do I do now? Like or I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like I don't know how to price my product. I'm like, Caddy, how do I price my things? And she gave like really good advice. She's like, look at how much it costs to make everything. Look at what other people are doing. Does like the difference make sense? If you're comfortable with that, cool, do that price. If you're not, then do it to something you are comfortable with. So I'm like, okay, it's good advice. Or if you don't have mentors, I know like a lot of people like it's hard to find like a really good mentor. I think I lucked out. Without Caddy, I'm nothing. But if you don't have mentors, like just even reaching out to people doing the same thing. So that's what I tried to do when I first started, but because it's COVID, like everybody's like, dog, it's my first time doing this too. Like I don't know what to do during a pandemic. This is my first pandemic too. So that was a little bit hard, but I think now if you were to start something, just like find somebody who's doing something like similar, and then just ask them how they got started. And I think like 99% of the time people are willing to help because they've been through it. Like they're gonna want to help.
How do you maximize like the mentorship though, because I feel like a lot of people, they'll see mentors or like they'll reach out to people as like a very one-way exchange, be like, yo, like I'd be so down for a coffee chat, and like
That's it.
end of interaction. Yeah.
I think like I don't know. Like I think being a little more genuine, just being like trying to get them like yeah, they're trying to help you, and so they're gonna ask a lot of questions about you.
Yeah.
But also getting to know them too, like just like more than just what they're trying to help you with. Like if you're trying to get like accounting help, ask more about not just like what their background in accounting is. You know, like who you are as a person. Like what did you do in like university? Like what do you like to do when you hang out? Or like do things other than coffee too. Like I feel like everybody does coffee, right? It's so boring.
No, it's just called a coffee chat.
Yeah. I feel like everybody actually like goes for coffee, or it's just like
It's a solid thing.
Yeah. But like I don't know. Like I like 2 days ago I got dim sum with Caddy.
Okay.
We were just catching up there. And then I asked her for some advice too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think doing like other things, trying to do things with them too.
Yeah.
Saying like, hey, like I'm not sure about this event, but like if you want to like come with me, like no guarantee they'll say yes, but the off chance they do, then that's something you do together. It's like something you can talk about later.
Yeah.
Bonding. Yeah, bonding.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this idea of people judging you like when you first start out? Because I know like especially like I'm starting content right now, and you get that fear that I'm gonna post something and then I guarantee you're gonna have people like judge you.
Yeah.
And where does that die down? Because I'm assuming like when you first started, you had a lot of supporters, like people were supporting you, and there's some inflection point where the supporters became like a little jealous of you, and they're like,
I wouldn't say jealous. I think like I'm very lucky that like you know my friends who have been around me like since I started BAK'D, they saw that like this is like my hustle. Like I want to do this. I think if any of my friends know that like I have always wanted to own my own business. Like like grade 9 I did some like entrepreneurship program, and I started like a popcorn business. For like 3 months, and I was like literally selling popcorn in front of the school. So like this is like pretty much on brand.
So
yeah. So I feel like it's not like anything like that. They see like how hard I hustle. So I'm like they're like want to hang out. I was like maybe next year. Like I don't know.
Crazy. Yeah, no time for you this time.
Yeah, like. And when I opened the store, my friend came in. He was like, I haven't seen you in like since before the store. Like he dragged me out. Well, he called my sister. He's like, make sure like you handle like whatever he's doing this day. I'm gonna take him out to the lake, or we're just gonna have like a boys' day. It was like my first time out of the store in like a month.
Touching grass for the first time.
Yeah, like actually. But yeah, like so I don't think like friends was ever a problem. I definitely had problems with like kind of putting myself out there. So I hate seeing I hate hearing my voice. I hate seeing like my face out there. So it makes me like cringe when I see myself. And I think when you first start something too, it's hard to be like really confident, especially when you're first starting. Cause it's like you have nothing to show for it. So like I hated being called like the cookie guy. I was like, fuck, my name's Andy, you know? Like, just call me Andy.
Nah, I'm the cookie monster.
Yeah, like I was like I cringe a little bit when I hear it too. But I think, you know, if you just kind of stick to it, do what you do. Like you have to put yourself out there. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Like either way, you can either like own it or you can kind of be like ashamed of it. You know? Like I think I felt the first like year BAK'D kind of being ashamed for it. Because like everybody else has like internships, whatever, co-ops. And I was like, I'm baking cookies. It's like it's hard to be proud of that. But then I think, you know, after a while, like I kept doing it. I had like a little bit of something to show for it. It's like, hey, I've been doing this for a year. That's kind of solid. Like I'm kind of proud of that. So turning that kind of like shame into something that you're proud of, and I think that comes with having good friends around you. You know, they don't kind of put you down for that. They're like, yeah, like I want to support. Look what my friend's doing. It's super sick. So yeah, like I think just kind of sticking to it, and then try kind of own it. So like now, like I'm like, don't call me Andy. Like I am Cookie Guy. Call me Cookie Guy. I'm so okay with that.
What are your advices on people like just starting out? Because like I know that like what you're saying, like there's times where you're still trying to prove that you have something to show for. Like I feel like a lot of people quit during that time. Like what are your advice on that? Like how do you see it through or know that it's gonna work even if it's super uncertain?
I think that's like really good. That's when it's a good time to kind of have like a partner or like a team around you. You know, like if you're doing it by yourself, like if you want to give up, you're just gonna give up.
Yeah,
but like when you have somebody else there who's kind of also responsible, like and keep you accountable for things, like if I want to give up, my sister's like, no, dude, like I just committed like 3 months to this. We are finishing this. We're seeing this through. Like somebody to kind of push you or like motivate you in some kind of way, or like having like a team around you too. Like if other people are doing it with you, I think it's a lot easier to kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel, you know, have that vision together.
Okay. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Okay, I saw your projected revenue for this year on your like the business on your 30s VC30s thing. Yeah, that's a pretty big jump. $1.25 million. What are your last year before the store?
We opened the store June last year. June 2024.
Oh, so it's literally just that quarter?
No, that's for the whole year.
Whole year.
But only half the year.
Which means it's higher, even higher now.
Hopefully.
How do you feel like money has affected your life as you're making like more of it, or you see that like the trajectory is going to be like this way? Because I feel like a lot of people have this concept that like, oh, once I have money, I'll be happy.
I think obviously when your business is doing well, that's a really good feeling, you know, like hitting like 7 figures in revs, that's like insane. Like when we found out that was kind of like our forecast, like I like shat myself. So sick. I think it's something to celebrate. Like you have to celebrate when like the highs, because when like shit hits the fan and like you're hitting the lows, it really sucks. So like when you achieve these things, I don't think it's like, it's not something to be humble about, because like you worked your ass off for it. You and your team did that. And I think it's really cool that I like am financially independent now. But it's also like you gotta think about using that money to reinvest as well. Like most of our money just goes back into BAK'D, because that's what we want to do with BAK'D. So we want to keep growing it. So I think it's very easy for people on the outside to kind of be like, you're a millionaire. But I'm like, one, that's revs, my guy. Like that's not how it works. And then two, like most of that just goes right back into BAK'D. For BAK'D, like I basically just draw like what I need to survive, like for like rent, groceries, whatever, a little bit to spend like going out, and then the rest just goes right back into BAK'D so that we can keep growing it.
Do you have any plans on scaling it more? Because like
100%.
From what I know, this location is amazing for you, right?
Pretty good. But I think the dream is like to have more locations. Like we're hoping to get like a second one up like in a year or two. I think would be pretty sick. Like more in Vancouver, I think, because like anytime I talk to somebody in Vancouver, I'm like, they're like, where's your store? I'm like, New West. They're like, where is that? But I think it's great for like kind of like Tri-Cities out that way, because that's where I grew up too. So it's like it's very sentimental for me. But I do want to hit something more kind of commercial, like in Vancouver. So like not downtown, because that's so expensive. But like maybe Kits would be sick, or like Commercial Drive, Main Street, somewhere like there, and then have like more of a cafe feel, because I feel like that's one thing that's missing here. It's kind of like somewhere where you can sit, you can talk with friends and whatever.
I thought it's because you didn't want to install the washrooms.
That's I didn't want to pay for like another washroom, but if we open another store, so we can still make dough. Like the plan would be like to still make dough out of this store, and just have like only an oven and like fridges there. I don't need all this like production space to do all that. I can just keep it here.
There's like your facility here, and then expand it out that way.
Yeah, exactly. So then we can use kind of the space we were gonna use for production in the second store and turn that into like more
seating.
Yeah, more seating, more of like a front retail space.
Okay. What about like Crumble Cookie? Would you ever like scale out to that size? Because I feel like they're like, you just have locations everywhere.
Yes, but I feel like like I'm not saying that's not the dream,
Yeah.
or that's not like a possibility.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the dream I want right now.
Yeah.
But I think if we're ever gonna do that, I feel like we have to do it like a lot more slowly and like sustainably. Because I think that's one thing that Crumble did wrong, is that they expanded way too fast because they had a bunch of like supply issues. Their quality wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
A lot of people noticed that, like, the quality kind of went to crap.
Yeah.
And then there's so many Crumble stores that like are now closing too, so they can't even sustain their own like growth. So what's the point of opening these stores if they're only going to close later, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, I want to go a little more slow and steady, and I don't want to be known just for like just popping out like cookies in the factory, right? I think what made Baked where we are now, like one of the things that I think made us successful is kind of the story and the branding behind it. So like we try and like make sure it's like everywhere you get baked and you look like you can't.
Yeah.
But like you see that it's like a brother or sister company. Like,
Yeah.
that's one big thing we always brand ourselves. And
Yeah.
like every box we give out at the farmers market, it comes with like a little thank you card and it has like our story on the back. So like everybody, even if you don't want to know, I'm gonna tell you our story. You know, so like it's tied in with Baked.
What is your dream then, like, to do with Baked?
I think just to like open like a lot of stores like in Vancouver, like maybe 3, 4, maybe expand across Canada.
Okay.
Maybe I don't even know.
So just more like slow and steady growth.
Yeah, just like keep growing the brand,
Yeah.
see what else we can do. Like I think one dream I have is like doing like edible cookie dough, because I think nobody in Vancouver really has like an edible cookie dough shop or anything like that.
Edible cookie dough.
Yeah, like New York has that, you know, like dough, Toronto.
What's edible cookie dough?
So it's like, you know how like, when you eat cookie dough, it's like you're not supposed to because it's bad for you?
Yeah.
Like this is like safe to eat cookie dough. pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, like Vancouver doesn't have a spot doing it or like have anywhere selling it. So
Ah,
I think it makes sense for us to do it because we do cookies, might as well do cookie dough. Call it unbaked. Trademark it. So yeah, like I think that's like one idea we have.
So you guys have like ideas of like branching out from Baked?
Yeah, like
Not like it wouldn't be within Baked then. It would just be another thing called Unbaked.
yeah, or like maybe like the ultimate dream would be to start like a food group. You know how like Cactus is like a food group and owns like Cactus Earls and like some branches of that.
Yeah.
Do something like that. I think.
So like
would be
become
super
like
sick.
a dessert conglomerate.
Yeah. Like
You got the ice cream. I can see it with the ice cream. Like once you have cookies and you have
unbaked.
unbaked
Yeah. Do
ice
other
cream, because you
desserts.
can just combine those things together.
Exactly, like donuts. It's just all things like I low-key crave.
Yeah.
I just really like donuts too. So I was like, why not start a donut shop? My sister really likes brunch. She's like, let's start a brunch spot. I was like, oh, okay. It's a little out there.
All of the above.
Yeah, so I'm like, nothing's like off the table.
Yeah.
But like, I just want it to be bigger.
Okay. How do you deal with like hate comments and stuff like that?
Hurts my feelings.
Like, because I was low-key, I was looking at the reviews. I'm like,
there's a few mean
it's the
ones.
same. It's the same. Because I was looking at Crumble's page,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at your page, and I'm like, the hate reviews come from the same demographic. It's just like complaining about the price. Literally just the price. They're just like, it's literally like a price. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know, our first like Google review that we ever got that was bad, I was like, I thought about it for like a month. It lived in my mind rent-free. Yeah, but I think like, I don't know, we try and like take each one and take it seriously, you know, like, was it like a valid kind of, was it something valid, or was it kind of them just being like pissy about something that is not really in our control? Like, for example, like if they're saying, you know, the cookie they got was like raw, or it was like overbaked, like I'm gonna want to like investigate that, like why is that happening at the store, you know, like I'm gonna see like who's baking, like why did that happen, pretty much.
You mean overbaked?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like crunchy, and it's like
like
actual hockey puck. But yeah, so like just trying to make sure like this doesn't happen again, because I don't want to keep having bad reviews. And then we also try and make sure like, you know, the customer isn't like turned off from bake. Like a lot of times customers are super nice. They're like, hey, like just, you know, like this cookie's like overbaked or something. I'm like, hey, like I'm so sorry. Like I'll refund your order. You're welcome to come back and get like cookies again. And like I want to remake your experience. Like I don't want this to be known for like this to be what Baked is known for.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times too, like when we address those customers, and we address like every single bad one too.
Yeah.
Like they're very like it turns into something positive. Like we get a positive response out of it. Like they're like, oh, why? Like I didn't expect this from you. Like this is really nice. Like yeah, I'm gonna keep supporting because like one, you took my concern seriously. Two, like I ended up liking the product when I got it back like the proper way. And then like one of our like best customers we got was originally a complaint, which is the craziest part. And now she's like,
is the one that buys the entire box and then drives home with it?
Yeah, pretty much. And then now we're like actually friends too. It's like it's crazy how it started. And then there's like other times you have to like kind of write it off. Like sure, it's gonna hurt. Like every bad review I get now still like hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Hurts my feelings. But like sometimes they're just like so ridiculous. I have to be like, oh, okay. Like this isn't. I can't really take this seriously.
Yeah.
For example, we got one that was like. They gave us a 1-star. They're like, love the cookies, love the service was great. Venue was super cold. It was an outdoor farmers market in December. Like, what do you want from me? I don't control my.
Yo, you gotta have the heaters, bro.
Okay. Like stuff like that. You can't control.
Yeah, exactly. That's a crazy review though.
We got a lot crazier ones.
Like December cold.
Yeah.
Your fault for not having heaters for them when they're buying it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously.
I had one review that was like, oh, this cookie would have been so much better warmed up. Wish they had like told me how. And they included a photo of like the cookie with the packaging. And like on every single packaging we have has instructions on how to heat it up.
Oh, you microwave that?
But you can if you want.
Oh, okay.
But there's instructions if you want on like the bags, the boxes, literally everything we give you.
Yeah.
And they included the packaging
with
in the photo with the Google review. I was like, it's right there.
Some people just don't read, you know? Yeah. How did you get into like fundraising? Because I know I see it so often at UBC. Like you guys have like overthrown Krispy Kreme.
Oh yeah.
Donuts at UBC.
Okay, so I did that because it was my I think it was my 3rd year in UBC, and I was like, crap, like I realized I was like, oh crap, like I'm about to finish my degree soon, like I have 2 years left. I don't feel like I made the most out of UBC. Like I feel like I just went to UBC just to like put my head down, do my work, and then like go home and do Baked right away when I could be doing Baked at UBC. Like why is this not an opportunity for me? So then I was like, okay, how can I sell? So I was like the bookstore was one, yeah, that's great, but it's not really like in your face. I love to be in your face. And then so when I saw these Krispy Kreme fundraisers, like we're already doing sponsorship with clubs, like giving them a box, right? But I'm like, that's kind of shitty because like one, like I give away free product, I don't make money. Two, like the club doesn't really benefit other than just like one prize, but it's like a one-time thing. So I started seeing these Krispy Kreme fundraisers. And my friend was telling me too, like my friends are in clubs, they run clubs, and they're like, we have a Krispy Kreme fundraiser. It's like it's so hard to sell because everybody has Krispy Kreme. It's like one flavor. Like I can't make money off of this. I was like, dude, just work with me. Like I'll sell you at a cheaper price. I'll basically give you my wholesaling price. I like do boothing. Like this is my bread and butter. Like I do this in my sleep, right? So I can give you all my boothing gear. I can show you how to booth. And then like
is that setup your same setup for your farmers market?
Yeah, it's the same exact setup.
Okay.
So like this is super easy, and it looks like a little bit more professional than like
Krispy Kreme, where they
slap a table down, like, and that's one thing too is that I maintain control about how the setup works. I was you have to rent my things, and I also like because I'm in accounting, which is kind of where my education helped. Like I can break down like all the pricing and everything. I was like, hey, it's gonna cost you this much. Even if you rent the gear from me, even if you have your own, I'm gonna make you rent from me. But even then, it's still pretty cheap. That you'll still make like this money if you sell these cookies. Like you'll profit like $300. Right? And that's more than you get with Krispy Kreme. 2, you sell out for sure. Like I think like 9 out of 10 fundraisers sell out. So like that's it. So you have different flavors too. Helps you sell out. And then 3, every fundraiser looks the same too. So you can recognize Bak'd when you see it on campus. It's never like, oh, are they selling? Are they not? Is that somebody's box they just left there? So
I do feel like Krispy Kreme, like it's been around for too long, you know? It's like since elementary school, it's just been the glazed
same.
donuts, and then it's like, do I really want to get it? It's like, okay, low-key, you don't think about how much sugar is in your thing.
I don't think about that.
I was like, because like when you look at a Krispy Kreme donut, you're like, oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yo, you're thinking.
But also, it's like one kind of donut. Like I had to choose another flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, like so I started with like my friends doing their clubs, and then I think that's how it got me started because I cold emailed like every club, anything with an email attached. I emailed, you know.
Yeah.
And I got like maybe like 2 responses. But then after my friends started doing it and they saw it was selling out, then the club started like emailing like, oh my god, sorry I didn't see this for a month. Like totally would love to work with you. I was like sick.
That's cool. That's really cool. What are your thoughts on network and how to build a strong network?
Yeah, I used to think networking was like total BS. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was just like a solid buzzword you throw out there. But like it's so cheesy, but like it actually like means a lot. Like you can't really do much if you have a small network because that network really helps you. So like I think for me like my network of friends, I guess. Like they help me with the clubs and the fundraising and all the sponsorships, and that's how I kind of got my name out on UBC. Because originally, like I think only like my friends knew me as the cookie guy, and that's it. But I think now it's pretty cool that like Solder has finally claimed me. Like before they were kind of like, who is this guy? But now they're like, yeah, like he's from Solder. Let's go.
Who is that Pokemon? It's Andy.
Yeah, but it's like pretty cool to get recognition from your school too. And yeah, like it's really cool. Like some classes I used to take, like there's one marketing class, our exams, like the marketing prof likes to put local companies as the example questions. And I was selling baked at school one day, and one person came up like, oh my god, like you were in my exam. That's like, to me, that's crazy. Or like I did an assignment on you. I was like, what the hell? That is so sick. So yeah, it's like really good for just kind of like getting yourself out there. Like people just learn what you are, even if they don't buy, they just know what you are, and there's a lot of power to that. And I think like if my sister didn't have like her big network, we would have never gotten big started. You know, if I didn't have my network of like doing all my like business extracurriculars in high school, I wouldn't know like how to start BAK'D, where our next steps would be, like what makes sense for BAK'D to grow. All of that I had like my network.
How do you even build those skills though? Like I know a lot of people say you just build it while you do it. But like oftentimes when you're building, you have no idea what you're doing. So how are you learning? You're kind of just like running into this wall, running into that wall.
Pretty much like do you mean like learning networking or learning to grow business?
Everything in general, like to grow a business. Because like obviously you had like Caddy, but like a lot of things you still needed to like learn yourself. Like were you just like watching YouTube videos or like what?
Basically, I was just Googling everything. Like I guess now you just like ChatGPT everything. But yeah, I was like Googling. I was like how to legally start business. And then it kind of tells you like you just find like all the resources you can online. Like mostly it was online for me because it was COVID. And I was like, okay, cool. It says that here you need like a business license. That's not super expensive to get. I can afford that. Let's get that. And then when I started selling at the farmers market, I asked them, I was like, hey, what do I need to do this? Because I was like, I actually don't know what I need. They're like, okay, well you need like food safety. Like here's what you need. And I was like, okay, cool, I have that. You need like insurance. I was like, okay, crap, how do I get insurance? So then I like Google like business insurance, and then that's when you can kind of use your network, like ask around, like, hey, do you know what even food business insurance is? And then like maybe if somebody doesn't, then they might know somebody who does, and then that's how they connect you. That's how you grow your network.
Okay. It's pretty insightful. Okay, I think we're about to wrap up, but let me ask you 3 main questions. That you would give advice to your younger self. So what are like 3 things that you would give, like advice that you would tell your younger self right now if you're back at 17, completely unaware that you're gonna do BAK'D? And just like confused.
Didn't know what to do. Completely lost. And be like, I'm gonna do solder. and become an accountant. I'd say like one, because I always had a dream of being an entrepreneur. I just thought it'd be like when I'm like 30, 40 or something. So I'd be like, just start now, because I feel like I think that's what a lot of people like are concerned about, is that they're like, I don't have the experience, like I don't know what I'm doing, or like the product's not ready yet, like I'm not ready. But I'm like, to be honest, I don't think you'll ever be ready. There's like no amount of prep you can do that will like make you 100% ready. If you do all the prep in the world, you'll still be like 60% ready. So there's no point in like holding it off, because you learn the most by just doing. So then I would just say like, just like push them out, like just go do it. And then what else would I tell myself? I tell myself to like, if it's working, you see it's working, keep doing it. You know, like do it, but do it more. Don't try and like do too much. Like if it's working, don't fix it. Like, just keep doing it. And when you need to do more, like need to do something else, then do something else. Like a lot of times farmers market was really good for us, so we're like, okay, let's keep doing farmers market, and then we just kept growing and growing and like doing different farmers markets. Like we always thought about like, should we do shipping like across Canada? But like I'm like, we don't. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing now, so why don't we just keep doing this? If we need to ship across Canada, like I don't know, there's really like demand is kind of.
Are you guys still only
BC or only Vancouver? So yeah, if there's like hella of people like telling me like I want shipping, then I'll do shipping. But like if the demand's not there, then why even bother?
Exactly.
So I'm just like, keep doing what you're doing good, just do it. And then what would my last advice be? Take advantage of like things around you more. Like I wish I started like doing school stuff like right from first year, second year. Like why did I wait all the way to third year? I totally could have started in first and second year, and that could have been making me more money in those first years. I could have grown BAK'D while I was in UBC, so it's a lot easier to grow BAK'D when I was there. It's like a lot harder for me to kind of have a presence there when I'm done with school.
So how do you think someone can maximize the university experience without being like, I just want to drop out?
I think it's by like joining like clubs, like doing things in school other than like classes, you know? Like when I talk to my friends, they say like they got the mostly out of like doing their clubs. That's where they met like a lot of good people, like their friends. That's how they kind of got more opportunities outside of just classes, is that they like did these events, they went to these events, they kind of worked in these clubs, and like it really helps, I don't know, like refer you around to different things, and it's good for exposure too. Like, do I like finance? I don't know, do something like finance, do a finance club. Oh, I hate that. Cool. At least I learned that. You know?
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.